Folk music is a genre commonly associated with acoustic instruments, guitars, banjos, fiddles, but it's much more than that. It's a tradition of ordinary people telling their stories. For generations, it's been tied to social movements, from civil rights to labor to environmentalism. Today's guest is Betty and the Baby Boomers, a folk band from the Hudson Valley that celebrates 40 years together this year. The members met in the 1980s through the Hudson River sloop Clearwater, an environmental organization and sailing boat founded by Pete and Toshi Seeger to help protect the Hudson River. In this episode, the band performs 5 songs and walks through their 40-year musical journey. Thank you for listening to the Exchange Room podcast, and I now present to you our discussion.
So I was very pregnant with my daughter, Kara. They auditioned me, and I joined the band. Kara is now 40 years old. So that's how long the band has been together.
Doesn't that mean your 40th anniversary is this year?
Yes,
It
that's right.
absolutely is. 40 years together, 4 decades, 40 years.
40 years, I don't think you really see that often.
It's a gift to us.
Betty and the Baby Boomers, thank you for all coming out. It's really, I think it's special to have the whole band here. How did your band come together?
Well, Betty, why don't you start that?
I noticed Paul Rubio and his father talking together at the Beacon Sloop Club, and I loved the exchange between these two humans. And and they were both kind of cute. So I also started to listen to Paul. He has this wonderful tenor voice, and I had just come on the Clearwater and fallen in love with other tenor voices. And Paul and I started singing with the Hudson River Sloop Singers.
I think it'd be good to take a step back to ask, what is the Clearwater? What's the sloop and what's the
The
Clearwater?
Clearwater is a replica of Hudson River sloops, which were a sloop is a single-masted sailboat with a sail behind the mast and a sail in front of it. And these boats were built mainly by the Dutch, adapted from their designs in the Netherlands to sail on the Hudson. And by the time Clearwater was founded, there were no more of them. Matter of fact, there were a few wrecks along the river, and that was about it. So Pete Seeger had the idea to build a sloop as a way of bringing people down to the river to see that it was still beautiful in spite of all the abuse that had been heaped upon it. And the boat itself is a beautiful thing. People would come down to see the boat, hear some music, and they could hear also about work to clean up the river. Hence the name Clearwater. And the work that it's been doing over the years is to not sail with cargo the way the old sloops did, but to sail with children and adults to teach them about the river, do education programs, and also to serve as a symbol of advocacy to clean up the river. The New York Times called the Clearwater America's environmental flagship, and it very much is that. And so that's what it does. I think this might be a good time to do a song by Pete, one of the songs he wrote early on, maybe even before Clearwater was started, to bring attention to the river.
Yeah, let's do it. So we're going to do a song that Pete wrote and heard him say many a time. Used to sail up and down the river in this little bathtub of a boat. And it was just really getting mucky, and we needed to rally people to see how beautiful the river could be. And this is one of the songs that he wrote to sort of get people going. And it's called Sailing Up My Dirty Stream. Sailing up my dirty stream, still I love it, and I'll keep the dream that someday, though maybe not this year, my Hudson River will once again run clear. It starts high in the mountains of the north, crystal clear, an icy trickles forth. Just one floating wrapper of chewing gum, dropped by some hikers to warn of things to come. Sailing up my dirty stream, still I love it, and I'll keep the dream that someday, though maybe not this year, my Hudson River will once again run clear. At Hudson Falls, 5,000 honest hands working daily at the GE plant. 5,000 gallons of waste a day. Why should we do it any other way? And we sing sailing up my dirty stream, still I love it, and I'll keep the dream that someday, though maybe not this year, my Hudson River will once again run clear. Down the valley, 1 million toilet chains, find my Hudson a convenient place to drain. But each town and village say, who, me? Do you think that sewage treatment plants are free? And we sing sailing up my dirty stream, still I love it, and I'll keep the dream that someday, though maybe not this year, my Hudson River will once again run clear. They say the water's clear, oh, but I live on the river here, halfway between the mountains and the sea. Tacking to and fro, this thought returns to me, and we sing sailing up my dirty stream, still I love it, and I'll keep the dream that someday, though maybe not this year, my Hudson River will once again run clear. Sailing up my dirty stream, still I love it, and I'll keep the dream that someday, though maybe not this year, my Hudson River will once again run clear. My Hudson River will once again run clear. My Hudson River and my country will run clear.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot packed into that song that Pete wanted to say. And I think what he was teaching us all was that the song can actually move people, that can tell a story that can get people and move people. And he invited us all to be singers. It's interesting. I mean, there are many musicians over time who performed well, wrote wonderful songs, passionate songs, but Pete, I think, in the tradition of teaching people to sing and leading in song, that was one of the things that he was passionate about and shared with all of us. And that's why we're still singing.
It's interesting to know that, Pete was a musician, but he's also an activist who worked not only in the environment but with labor causes. His labor activity goes back into the 30s, 40s, and he also worked in the civil rights movement. He was willing to lend his music, his voice, his banjo to all these causes. And we speak about the power of song, getting people to sing together. More about that later, perhaps. Um, but it was interesting that when he decided to go ahead and build this boat or spearhead the building of the boat, he sort of took some flack from his other uh, activist compatriots who said, "What? You're building a boat to go sailing on a river? What does that have to do with changing the world and solving the Vietnam issue and civil rights and all that?" But Pete, of course, had a long range vision. Uh, you know, do things globally as a way of making change. Excuse me, act locally, but
Locally.
make the change global as well. And Clearwater is very much that sort of thing. It's been the model has been followed by organizations around the country and even overseas.
So you come on the Clearwater as a volunteer for a week, and like me from the Midwest, I didn't know much or anything about the Hudson River, and that's where I began to learn so much more about Pete and about environmental issues and activists. It's a great place to learn.
The sloop and the Clearwater brought you all together before you knew each other. You all had a common interest in being there in the first place. So what was that?
We all were, and I guess still are, although somewhat retired, environmental educators. So we all met through our work as environmental educators in various capacities.
I went to college in central New York and came back to the Hudson Valley, grew up in the Hudson Valley, came back to the Hudson Valley, and knew I wanted to be part of uh, the environmental scene, what was culturally going on. And the Clearwater was something that I grew up close to, my family, my father. Um, and so I started to look around for people and places. And I sort of happened on the Beacon Sloop Club, which is a little bit of chapter of the Clearwater, sort of a local chapter. And every month, the Beacon Sloop Club would have a potluck supper, and after the supper, they'd have an old-fashioned hootenanny where people would get together, pull their instruments out, and go around and sing. And that was where I first got a chance to actually sing with people. And I remember one night I was there, and Betty was there, and I sang. And Betty came to me and she said, "Wow, she really was impressed with my voice and said, you know, but why don't we do some more singing together?" I think each time we were there, we started to sing together near each other and then maybe do a couple of tunes together. So Betty and I really started doing that. And that was where we started singing together. So it was really the two of us that found each other initially.
And then I distinctly remember when you said one night, one day, Steve Stan wants to join us. I said, Steve Stan, really? And that was so exciting because I knew Steve could cover any mistake that I made. He was very good at that.
Yeah, it was just for fun. Actually, we weren't planning to perform particularly, except with the sloop singers. Um, and at the time, we also had another woman who would sit in with us and join the fun, Sarah Underhill. But she went off gallivanting. She was a sailor. She went off to row around Scotland and Ireland and Norway, somewhere over in Europe with her partner and later husband. So we were looking around for another person to join us. And at a Clearwater holiday party, of course, there was music. People sat in the corner and sang. And we happened to hear this young woman, Jean McAvoy.
So, so I was pushed over into the music corner, and we searched around for something. And it was guys and guitars, and me. And we searched around for something that we could all do together, and we did a Hank Williams tune, as I recall.
Yes, we did.
And then apparently, unbeknownst to me, the two of them went back to Betty and said, "Hey, we think we found somebody who can."
And Betty said, we don't even know if she can sing. And boy, did I learn a lot.
One of the things things that's attractive about doing this singing with the boomers is the sound that we create, and the harmonies that we create, which are not always typical, but there's some beauty that's created from that sound. And so that's always been an attraction to singing with these folks. But married with that, or connected with that, is the meaningfulness of the songs that we pick to do. And each of us bring those songs to the group. So there's the thought of, wow, I'd really like to hear what this would sound like, but I'd really like to hear this message. The two things together create our sound, which is really kept me coming back year after year. So yeah, let's do another song. And
Right.
whose song is this?
Nick Platkius, and he was an actor in the Albany area. I'm not sure where he is now. Our friend Dan Einbender, a longtime Clearwater friend, tweaked it up a little bit, and it's called The River Rag. And then Steve added this wonderful introduction that I get to start with. So, are we ready?
Yep.
Once the river was the place to be. People gathered along the strand. There was shad, oysters, and caviar, served on steamboats fit to beat the band. Dock Street, Water Street, River Road, the names still linger in city and town. But we turned our backside on the river. Time to turn the situation around. You can sing it from the bridge, you can sing it from the shore, you can sing it from the sloop, Clearwater, sing it from your heart, you'll never know till you try. You can sing it all alone, you can sing it with a friend, you can take it from the top and you make it to the end. Just might help somebody see the bottom of the river again. Oh yeah, bottom of the river again. There's rag to wipe your Sunday shoes, rag to use when you got the blues, rag for powder and baby's southern sides. There's rag for the kitchen and one for the hall, ragtime tune on an old guitar, rag to wipe those teardrops from your eyes. Now listen to the river, she's telling you she needs some of that ragtime too. She's waiting patiently for all the rest of us to agree. She's got acid rain streaking down like tears, PCBs behind her ears, power plants in places she can't reach. Gonna sing this old-time river song to every mud sucker ever done her wrong. Theme that winding stream from beach to beach. You can sing it from the bridge, you can sing it from the shore, you can sing it from the sloop, Clearwater, sing it from your heart, you'll never know till you try. You can sing it all alone, you can sing it with a friend, if you take it from the top and you make it to the end. Just might help somebody see the bottom of the river again. Oh yeah, bottom of the river again. You can sing it from the bridge, you can sing it from the shore, you can sing it from the sloop, Clearwater, but sing it from your heart, you'll never know till you try. You can sing it all alone, you can sing it with a friend, if you take it from the top and you make it to the end. Just might help somebody see the bottom of the river again. Oh yeah, bottom of the river again. Oh yeah, bottom of the river again. The muddy bottom of the Hudson River again. Oh yeah. Well, thank you.
You know, it occurs to me, sitting here feeling the heartbeat of Robert's bass behind us, we didn't add you into the origin story.
I wasn't actually in the originals.
No, but
No, you weren't, but the connection to the river was there because it was when we decided to record an album of river songs that we came to Robert's studio.
right.
And we did it, recorded it with him. He did a great job. He also played bass on the album, and we're so pleased with the results that in our later rehearsals afterwards, we said, "Do you think Robert would want to become a boomer?" And Robert is a professional musician who plays with a lot of groups in the area.
Yeah.
But we went ahead and asked him.
Please let me join. No, go ahead.
Anyway, we're
Thank you,
So
Gene.
glad to have him.
Thank you.
We're
for
so
bringing
glad
that
to have
in.
you.
Yeah.
we're
Me
glad to
too.
have
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, we're like a family, and I'm
We are.
the newcomer of the.
Yeah.
But still, 12 years in.
Yeah.
More than 12.
More than 12.
2000.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, that's right.
Yeah.
It was 2009 we did that.
Yeah.
2009, so that's 17 years now, Robert. Jeez.
And it's not easy. We're four people.
Five.
Well, initially.
And quirky. They're quirky.
That's what I'm getting at. I'm getting at. You know, people often will ask us those questions. You know, like how do you manage to continue playing together? But Robert, you know, adding a fifth person in, and not just someone who would play bass for us, you know, because we've actually had a number of people play bass for us, including my son Paul, who has played with us many times,
Your son.
and our son, my son Chris, who's here, play bass for us. But it was I think it rounded out the group in a way
Mhm.
that was just took us to another level, and is he's not afraid to share his arrangements, his thoughts about arrangements with us, and he's usually right. And that balance is really I think solidified our strength as a group to add Robert. I really believe that.
And that touches, I think, on one of the reasons we've stayed together, because although different members of the band sort of take the lead, whoever has the lead vocal pretty much drives the bus for that song. But we all contribute our opinions. We all have a hand in it. You know, there's no once someone saw us coming off a stage at Revival, and they shook their head and said, "Not an A-type personality among you." So that's part of the reason we've stayed together.
You know, we've been together as a group, and for me personally, it means my partnership with my wife Vera has been allowing me
Mhm.
to do this kind of singing and being off doing this with these people that I love so much, and that's tough. Sensitivity to that, the partners that allow us to or support us in
Mhm.
doing what we're doing. So I just wanted to get that in.
Yeah.
So, well, Gene, let's
Yeah, so
let's
actually this is a song, this is what I consider one of my teaching songs. I worked for most of my career as an environmental educator. I worked for the Hudson River National Estuarine Research Reserve and learned a lot there about the Hudson River estuary, the tidal part of the river. And this is my one of my teaching songs about the estuary. It's called Back Bay. It also describes one of my favorite things to do. Give me the quiet water, give me the back bay, give me a good excuse to slip the strangle news of a work day. Ooh, is free, no one to bother me on the back bay. Don't want your noisy engine, don't want the wind in my hair. Give me an old canoe, a paddle, light and true, they will take me where the heron waits for the tide and fate to bring her dinner there. Give me the quiet water, give me the back bay. I feel the need to ride the changes of the tide in the worst way. Oh, I do believe I feel the river breathe on the back bay. Or you can keep the channel, you've got places to go. The river rushing by, you're living on the fly. I will take things slowly. I don't mind if I fall behind in the ebb and flow. We need that quiet water, we need the back bay, a buffer from the storm, the place where life is born, where the cattails sway. The river's health is in the secret wealth of the back bay. Give me the quiet water, rock me in the cradle. Give me of the back bay. We need that quiet water, share it with the eagle and the osprey. Cherish the quiet water of the back bay. Give me the quiet water, rock me in the cradle. Give me the back bay. We need that quiet water, share it with the eagle. We need the back bay. Cherish the quiet water of 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 the back bay.
A very different feel to it than your typical folk song.
And that's what's great about Jean's songs. They're so different. You would think that um, the Poughkeepsie Whaler is a traditional song, and yet Jean wrote it. I mean, we never know what's going to come out of her mouth.
Every year, you hop over the Atlantic to Ireland to play in a music festival. So, what is this festival and why do you go back every year?
Why? Because it's one hell of a lot of fun. And we hear wonderful, wonderful music. Uh, not just Irish music, but all sorts of music, jazz, and classical. We hear a lot of poetry, wonderful poems. They have such a gift for the written word and the spoken word as well over there. Theater, just archaeology, there's just everything is mixed in for this 10-day festival. Anyway, we got involved because we had a friend who connected with the producer of the festival and uh, became a part of the festival himself. And I ended up going over in a band with him. The festival started off in the schools. It was really organized by the school teachers. And this, by the way, is a festival that takes place in the little town called Clifton in Connemara, which is on the Atlantic coast uh, of Ireland, west of Galway City. It's in County Galway. And the Clifton Community Arts Festival, as I said, started in the schools, but and our friend Tom McHugh went over, and he eventually retired. So I got in touch with the producer and said, "Well, how would you like to have the Boomers come?" And he was kind enough to say yes, and that was over 30 years ago. And first it was every other year, but now we go every year. A lot of the artists that come into the festival are well-known artists like Paul Brady, the Chieftains, Dolores Kane, Christy Moore. Those are well-known Irish names, but the symphony orchestras and everybody. And they come in, they do a show, and then they move on to the next part of their tour. But we're really sort of artists in residence. So we're there all week, well, for the 7 days or so. We play in the schools, we play in the pubs, we play for the senior citizens, we do a few concerts, um, and we've really become part of the community in a very important way, which I think is an important thing about folk music, really. And they're eager to hear. We don't do Irish music. We really focus on the sort of stuff you've heard so far tonight. But a mark of how long we've been going and is that we're going to play for the students now. The teachers of those students were students when we started playing back in 30 years ago, and they were the students in the classes. The bartenders that we see in the pubs are students that were in our classes that we played 4 years ago. Uh, anyway, so we go back every year. We get sometimes partnered up with poets and other folks, and it's just an incredible festival. We oftentimes family and friends will come over to enjoy the festival and to see Ireland while we're there because it's such a great cultural event. But anyway, we've met a lot of great folks over there, singers and songwriters like Tommy Sands, and that really brings up a connection to Pete again because Tommy Sands is sort of considered to be the Irish Pete Seeger. He's very much an activist, a peace activist. He's particularly known for his work on the Good Friday Agreement, getting the opposing politicians to come out of their cloistered negotiating rooms and sing with kids about the need for peace, really. Um, and one of the politicians there said about Tommy that he's the only person that he's afraid of who doesn't have an army, you know. But he's an incredible songwriter, and he was a good friend of Pete's, and he would come over and visit with Pete. And in particular, there was a morning when he was having breakfast with Pete and Toshi, and as Pete would do, he would start thinking, well, let's write some songs together. How about writing a song about toast? And so they started making up some verses. At which point, Toshi, in her ever-loving way, said, really, you might want to think about a more serious topic. Tell me, how about something about the troubles in Ireland, the work you do over there. Well, a few years later, Tommy did write a song. We wrote many songs about that, but he wrote one in particular that he brought back to Pete on another visit and said, "Hey, Pete, I wrote this song called Music of Healing. I'd like you to hear it." He played it for him. It had 2 verses, and Pete said, "Oh, it's a great song, Tommy, but it needs another verse." And so Tommy said to Pete, "Well, you write it." So the song we're going to sing now is one that we learned because we go to Ireland and met Tommy Sands and became familiar with his music. But it brings us back to Pete again because the second verse of this song is Pete's contribution to this Tommy Sands song. And it's called The Music of Healing. And I'm pleased to say that Tommy recently did a benefit concert here for for Clearwater. And when he did this song, the entire audience joined right in without any teaching at all. And I'd like to think it was because there were many people in the audience. We opened the show. There were many people in the audience who had heard us sing it and sung it with us. I'd like to think that. Don't beat the drums, you frighten the children. Don't sing the songs about winning and losing. Sit down beside me, the green fields are bleeding. Sing me the music of healing. Sing me a song of a lover returning. Dark in the night, near the morning. Bring me the news of a new day that's dawning.
Sing me the music of healing. Ah, the hearts of wonder, stronger than the guns of thunder. Even when we're torn asunder, love will come again.
Sometimes the truth is like a hare in a cornfield. You know that it's there, but can't put your arms around it. How you is to follow its footsteps. Sing me the music of healing. When I've known I'd feel so contented to learn I was wrong after all of my rambles. Learn to be hard, I learned how to tremble.
Sing me the music of healing. Ah, the hearts of wonder, stronger than the guns of thunder. Even when we're torn asunder, love will come again.
Somehow the cycle of vengeance keeps turning. Each other's stories and songs we start learning. Peace is the prize for those who are daring.
Sing me the music of healing.
Time is our friend, it heals all our sorrows. But how can I wait for another tomorrow? One step today,
And 1,000 will follow. Sing me the music of healing. Ah, the hearts of wonder, stronger than the guns of thunder. Even when we're torn asunder, love will come again. Ah, the hearts of wonder, stronger than the guns of thunder. Even when we're torn asunder, love will come again.
Music of healing.
thank you.
Yeah, it's a real privilege to be able to sing those songs that are written by people like Tommy Sands and Pete together. So, and I think the people who have enjoyed hearing us all these years have enjoyed the way we've presented the songs because we do them differently. We don't sound like Tommy Sands or Pete Seeger. So I think that that's been a unique piece of what we've been doing all these years, and we feel it. We feel it. We feel important. It's an importance that we bring to the whole genre of folk music.
But is it folk music? And that's a whole discussion we were having about what the heck is folk music? And where do we fit on the continuum?
We had actually a really good, robust conversation. Teddy sent us some questions to look over before getting together, and it was a really interesting conversation. I think I had said, for me, it centers on the joy of singing together, of expressing our feelings and our ability to make a sound that resonates with the words. and the ensemble, the power of no one person leading, all of us sort of together. And tonight, each of us have taken a song, and I think that typifies my sense of folk music and a commitment to the message too. But I don't know, we can share that. Well, the rest of you think.
Yeah, I think that folk music in the traditional sense was made by people who didn't have radio and television and iPhones. They sat in their parlors, in their living rooms, like we are now, and even in their caves, probably a long time.
Porches.
Yeah, and sang music, made music together, and uh, folk these days has come to be thought of as singer-songwriters. James Taylor does folk, or John Gorka of folk music. They think of him as folk. Well, yeah, I suppose it is. It's acoustic music that comes out of that tradition. But the biggest part of what we think of as folk is that sense of people making music together. Listening carefully, joining in the process. That was really, again, coming back to Pete. That was a big part of it. So that to me is one of the defining things of folk music, and it is, even if it isn't always on acoustic instruments, it's still the sense of making music together.
It helps us have the courage to face the things that we are all facing. And I think when we're together and making, music together, it it somehow builds that courage and that energy. I think it's part of it. I think people feel that. And it's beautiful. So it's a beautiful courage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You had asked us also about our most recent album,
Yes.
Quite Early Morning. And so we should talk a little bit about that coming together. And I think, Gene, we've talked about that. Why don't you share a little bit about what
Well,
that album meant for us?
This is our sixth album, and generally speaking, we kind of decide to go in and do another one when we've accumulated enough new music, and we've sort of forgotten how hard it is to make an album, how hard it was the last time, and and we're ready to do it again. Although that may be just me. I think the rest of you enjoy the process a lot more than I do. But anyway, this album seems to particularly speak to the times, and I'm not sure if we did that consciously or unconsciously initially, but when we looked at what we had produced, we realized that it is an album for the times, and it is a hopeful album. It tries to provide some hope for the struggles we're going through, and and the importance of relying on each other and on community.
Tell them where you find our album.
Oh yeah, well, that's a good question
Yeah.
too. Where can you
Well,
find our music? I know
yes,
that was one
that's
of
the
your
last question.
That was one of your questions. So
Yeah.
I'll say that our music is available actually in this day and age. All you have to do if you are totally wired in your home is to say, "Hey,
Siri.
whatever it is, Siri, Alexa, or whatever, play Betty and the Baby Boomers," and it will find it on we're on all the streaming platforms. Um, so you really can find us anywhere streaming.
So should we do your song and then close that out?
Okay, all right.
Yeah, why
All
not?
right, yeah,
Then you
this
can-
is
yeah, right.
this is another one I wrote when I needed to hear the message. I needed to remind myself, sometimes the only way out is through. And I have to say, it has been something of a surprise of all the songs I've written and the ones that have been boomerized. This one, people seem to sing
Yeah.
the most. I mean, people really sing this one with us. It's really. I tried to make it. I tried to make the chorus singable, easy to learn. So this is called "The Only Way Out." Sometimes I just want to take a break, forget all the hard things I have to do, hide and hope they blow away, but the only way out is through. Here's your part. The only way out is through, my friend. The only way out is through. Even at the very end, the only way out is through. So take a breath, hold on to hope. You'll find strength for what you have to do and make it to the other side. 'Cause the only way out is through. The only way out is through, my friend. The only way out is through. Even at the very end, the only way out is through. Play it. Lift your chin, stare down the bear, and trust that what I say is true. You won't always feel this bad, and the only way out is through. The only way out is through, my friend. The only way out is through. Even at the very end, the only keep it going is through. The only way out is the only way. The only way out is through. The only way. The only way. The only way out is through. The only way out is the only way out is through. The only way out is through. The only way out is the only way out is through. The only way out is through. The only way out is through, my friend. The only way out is through. Even at the very end, the only way out is through. Last time, the only way out is through, my friend. The only way out is through. Even at the very end, the only way out is through. The only way out is Thank you. Good singing.
That was fun.
That's what we do.
I appreciate you all coming out and doing this, and this has really been a lot of fun. And
Well, thank you for hosting us.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much.